So I'm about to drive this beautiful Vanquish S on the road, and as I approach the car, when I open the door, you'll hear a pump running. That pump is priming the hydraulic system for the clutch and the gearbox activator. That means as soon as I get in the car and turn on the ignition, I can select neutral without having to wait. So driving Vanquish S in quite heavy traffic, one of the first things to remember is to try and leave a gap to the car in front. If you start crawling along at low speed, the clutch could go into a slip mode, and that's what you want to try and avoid. So you want to be able to make sure the clutch is clamped. I am now in third gear. If I go into fourth gear, because I've got very low RPM, I don't have to do anything with the throttle. I just pull and release the paddle, and it's a smooth upshift. And if I want to do a downshift, I get speed matching engine RPM, and it's a smooth downshift. I'll go back up to fourth. And again, if I suddenly decide I need to go a little bit quicker, mean more acceleration, like now, I could double downshift and go straight into second gear. Now it's important to leave the gap to the car in front, because I don't want to be moving slowly forward, the clutch slipping. It's now clamped, so I've got no clutch slip.
Do we need ASM? What's the point of ASM?
Automatic shift mode. This is exactly the environment where you may consider you want to use that drive method. You can select it either when you're stationary or when moving. So I'm going to select it now. So we're now in ASM, and it's come up into the indicator display. So what the computer is now doing is looking at my throttle opening, the RPM and the speed, and it will decide which is the best gear for the car. So at the moment it's selected third gear. Personally, I prefer to use the paddle system, the select shift manual, because then that way you're always in control of what gear you need. So at the moment I'm in second. Did I really need first gear? Yes, I did, because we're going so slow. Because what was happening there was that the car was actually slipping the clutch in second gear. So I'm going to come out of ASM and go back to SSM. So now select first gear. The car, I've got a space to the car in front, so I now know the clutch is clamped. I've got a very low torque, so when I get around the roundabout and select second gear. So the first Vanquish, it had a taller first gear, so we could get 0 to 60 in first gear. The only downside of that is being a very tall gear, the car at low speed could start to hunt, and the clutch would open and shut, and you start to get this clutch slipping scenario as well. So using this lower ratio is much better. Less chance of clutch slip. So if you remember one of the very early promotional films on Top Gear about Vanquish, you'll probably remember Jeremy Clarkson. He had a Vanquish on a slipway and he wanted to pull forward, and famously the car started to roll backwards and he was trying to pick it up on a slipping clutch going forwards, and it caused a bit of concern. The thing to remember about a Vanquish is that it's a manual car. So think back to basics. How did you pass your driving test in a manual car when you were doing a hill start? You use the handbrake to hold the weight of the car, and then as you apply the throttle, the clutch starts to close, and then you can release the handbrake. Now we're going to demonstrate that. We're going to go to a very famous venue, Brooklands, and we're going to find a slope, and we'll just replicate exactly what Jeremy did, and then we'll replicate how we should do it properly. So I've now brought the car to a halt. I'm in first gear, and I want to put the car into reverse. Now there are two ways of doing that. We can either select neutral by pulling and releasing both paddles, and then selecting reverse on the R button. The other way of doing it is a much quicker way and probably easier for people to use. So you're in first gear, you just focus on one control and you press the reverse button twice, and now you're in reverse. And likewise, if I want to go into first gear, what I could do is select neutral and then pull the plus paddle for first. But the other way of doing it, which is a lot simpler, is from reverse, you actually pull the plus paddle twice. and it goes straight into first gear. So I've now brought the car to a halt on a hill, and I want to take the car forward. Now, if I haven't applied the handbrake, when I come off the brake pedal, the car would just roll back, and then I'm trying to pick the car up on a slipping clutch to go forward. And that's where you start to burn the clutch out. This is not good for the car at all, and this is where Mr. Clarkson went wrong. So what you do is go back to basics. How did you do a hill start when you learnt to drive in a manual car? You actually applied the handbrake. So I've now got the weight of the car on the handbrake. So now when I come off the brake pedal, the car doesn't roll backwards. And then as I bring the throttle in, the clutch goes to the bite point and I can release the handbrake and the car doesn't roll backwards. And now I've gone past the slip point and the clutch is now clamped. So when driving in heavy traffic, if you're in second gear and the traffic slows down, don't be afraid to pick first gear, because if you keep the car in second, the clutch will get to a point where it's starting to slip. Where if you self-select first gear, the clutch can remain clamped and therefore you're not causing any clutch slip and overheating. So I'm driving down a dual carriageway with a very light throttle, doing 3,000 RPM. When I select third, fourth gear, because I've got a light throttle opening, the upshift is very smooth and we don't get a jerky gear shift. And the same fourth to fifth, very smooth upshifts. However, if I go back to third gear and now drive with a more aggressive throttle, change to fourth gear, and change to fifth, you can feel how much jerkier the gear shift is. So I need throttle modulation. So again, I'm going to slow down, pick third gear. Now this time I'm going to accelerate again, but this time I'm going to slightly ease off the gas, pick fourth, squeeze the throttle. Slightly ease off, pick fifth, squeeze the power back in. And all of a sudden the gear shifts are seamless, very smooth. And likewise, if I press the sport button, all that does is speed up the gear shifts. It doesn't change traction control or engine mapping, purely the speed of the gear shift. So again, I go back to third gear. I still need the same throttle modulation, so I'm going to accelerate, ease off, upshift. It's much quicker. Accelerate, ease off, upshift, squeeze the power back in, and then up into sixth gear. So it's all about being mechanically sympathetic with the car when you're doing the upshifts. And of course the downshifts, you get speed matching where the engine actually blips the throttle, so you get a very smooth downshift, which I'll show you now, fifth, fourth, third. Now the other good thing about Sportshift as well, it won't let you pick a gear that will cause damage to the engine. So you couldn't, for argument's sake, pick second gear at 100 miles an hour. So I'm in third gear in SSM, but I'd now like the computer to take over and give me automated upshifts. So I press the ASM button, automated shift manual, and the computer now knows the speed of the car and also the throttle opening. And you notice straight away it went from third to fourth to fifth and into sixth. But you've also can feel the gear shifts are quite jerky, you can feel them. So what I'm going to do is slow down again. I'll manually select third gear just to get us down through the gearbox. Go back into ASM, and this time I'm going to talk to the computer through my right foot. So one of the questions I get asked is, how often should you put the car into neutral? Well, I would suggest if you're coming up to traffic lights, which change quite quickly, like I'm coming to now, the lights are on red, I bring the car to a halt, and as soon as I become stationary, the clutch is now open. So imagine you're sitting here with a manual car and you're pushing the clutch down. How long would you sit with the clutch pushed down? On how long would you say, no, I need to put the car into neutral? Well, this has answered the question. The lights have turned green, so I didn't need to put the car into neutral. Now, I would suggest if it was roadworks or a level crossing where you're being held up for some time, you might well decide to put it into neutral. So again, think, what would you do in a manual car with a heavy clutch? So I'm on an open dual carriageway now, 70 mile an hour speed limit in 6th gear. I'm coming up to some slower vehicles. I want a lower gear. I don't have to change gear sequentially. I'm in 6. If I pull the paddle once, it goes to 5th. If I go back into 6th, if I pull the paddle twice, it will go into 4th. I go back to 5th, pull the paddle twice, goes down to 3rd. So I can actually select which gear I want to do the overtake. It doesn't have to be done sequentially. And likewise, going up through the gearbox, I'm in 3rd gear. If I double paddle up, it goes into 5th, and single paddle into 6th. So you can pick any gear in the gearbox, provided it remains within the safe operating parameters of the engine.